It's Chicago Harness Weekly. Chicago Harness Weekly is brought to you in part by Miller Brewing Company, made the American way, and by Coca-Cola Classic. You can't beat the feeling. And now, here's Eleanor and Mike.
Good afternoon and welcome to Chicago Harness Racing Weekly, a weekly programming highlighting harness racing from the Chicagoland area and all throughout the country. I'm Eleanor Flavin from Maywood Park Racetrack.
I'm Mike Paradise, handicapper for the Chicago Tribune. One of the things we'll be doing every week is we're going to always take a look back. We're going to try to give you some memorable races of the past, not just on the local scene, but all over. In fact, we got a special one coming up on today's program, the Kentucky Futurity, some very unusual footage. So if you got a video recorder, believe me, it's definitely worth recording. Later in the program, I'll be handicapping the night's card, and we'll be looking ahead on what's going on the Chicago circuit.
We'd like to thank our sponsors, the Miller Brewing Company, Coca-Cola, Maywood Park, Gas City, and the Illinois Harness Horsemen for their continued support of harness racing in the Chicagoland area. Stay tuned, because right after this, we're going to highlight the week's card in racing.
That's Kelly Jubilee on the outside. Loose priority closing.
In today's competitive race of convenience store shopping, a nice solution is your friendly Gas City Family Pantry Store. For your automobile, Gas City features Platinum Plus, a 92 plus octane premium unleaded. Inside the modern family pantry store, you'll find a great selection of everyday needs: fresh brewed coffee, cold soda or beer, and video rentals. Next time you're in a hurry to pick up a few items, stop into a neighborhood Gas City Family Pantry Store, the better place to shop.
Eddie, understanding your passion for Miller High Life, I brought you something.
A six-pack. No, a bottle. A bona fide Frederick Miller original, circa 1880.
Note, it is just as clear as today's bottle. Proof positive. Miller has been proud to show their dark, rich beer for more than 100 years. Now, that's tradition, Eddie. That's the American way.
That's great, Jim, but I prefer this bottle.
Why is that, Eddie?
Because it's full.
Ours, as you know, is not a perfect world. May I? That's why it's so refreshing when something really perfect comes along. Like Diet Coke. Tastes great straight, or on the rocks. Yet it's just 1 calorie. That's why Diet Coke is the perfect soft drink. For an imperfect world.
Just for the taste of it. Diet Coke. Welcome back. We're looking at racing action from this past week at Balmoral Park. It's located in Crete, Illinois. It's a 5/8 mile track. The track superintendent is Bob Knox, and the track announcer is Peter Glossy.
And of course, we'll be looking at Maywood Park, Illinois. It's really close to the Chicago Loop. Track superintendent is Frank Vaughn. Half-mile track, a lot of close-up action.
And the track announcer is Tony Salvaro.
Right.
We're going to look at Saturday afternoon from Balmoral Park, May 29th. We're looking at the 5th race. A field of 7 trotters went postward in a preferred trot, and Doug Hamilton teamed up with Kelly's Jubilee for a record-breaking performance. Kelly's Jubilee took over at the half-mile and held off a fast-closing Lose Priority and Heather R to gain a head victory in 2 minutes flat. A new mark for an aged mare at Balmoral.
That same day, the High Ideal Stake for 3-year-olds was held. The first division of the Illinois Bred Stakes saw number 2, B. Jewel, tire in the stretch. Number 10, Society Rebel, driven by Tony Morgan, getting the win by a neck over number 1, Mendota Joe and Stan Banks in 1:56 3/5, the fastest mile ever for a 3-year-old pacer at Balmoral Park.
Let's continue with the 2nd division of the High Ideal Stakes. That was the 8th race. And number 4, Steady Whiz, and number 5, Termination, battled at every pole, and at the wire, driver Fred Finn behind Steady Whiz held off Tom Harmer and Termination for a neck triumph in 1:57 2/5. This time was a track record for a 3-year-old gelded pacer.
Let's turn our attention to Monday night at Maywood Park, where a field of 8 fillies and mares with $8,000 prize tags saw the Gas City upset of the week. Number 7, Better Be Jolly, and driver Ron Robinson came from 8th and last at the 3/4 mile pole to win a head decision over number 5, CJ's Beth at 74-1 odds and return a $2 winning mutual of $150.60.
That's quite an upset. We're going to Tuesday at Balmoral. Merv Trupp drove Snow Sammy to a 28 last quarter and a 2 1/5 length victory over Falcon Power. The time of 1:54 1/5 equaled the fastest mile ever at Balmoral, set last year by Incredible Finale. Spencer held on to be third.
Wednesday night at Maywood, 3 elimination divisions were held for next Wednesday's Violet Pace Stake final. In the third race, the first division of the 3-year-old filly stake, Interlude led every step of the way with Dale Heitman at the controls and posted a 1 1/2 length victory over a pacing model, the time of 1:58 4/5.
The second division of the Violet elimination saw True Companion make it back-to-back victories as the 3-year-old daughter of Kaluka cut the mile and easily held off the favorite Cozy Nook. Jeff Pletcher drove her to a 1:58 2/5 mile, and that's a new lifetime mark.
The third and final elimination was that night's 6th race. Number 1, Ariel Bow had things her own way the whole mile, while number 2, Janolita and Dave McGee sat behind her in the 2-hole, and with a nice late move, Dave rallied the 9-1 long shot, Janolita to a photo win over Darcy Pletcher, and Ariel Bow, 1:58 2/5. Stake Queen took third.
The best distaffers on the grounds battled Wednesday night, and once again, it was an upset in this division. While number 3, Chipsy Spar set the pace, number 6, Monique Missé with driver Laverne Hostetler on the bike, and number 5, I'm a Light, and Sterling Book went to the wire together as Monique Missé took a head decision in 1:57 3/5. Ambrosani rallied to be third.
Okay, then we turn our attention to Friday night. You had an invitational at Maywood Park, a good one, too.
Yes, it was the 9th race. Purse is $18,000. The field is 7. Number 1, Ultra Bright, Uncle Murph, Dynamic Trip, Rare Storm, Daredevil, Charge Plate, Hoosier Hill, and we're going out to the call of track announcer, Tony Salvaro.
They're halfway home. 58 seconds flat into the clubhouse turn, and Ultra Bright maintains a lead on the outside. That's Daredevil, and up and challenging second. Rare Storm is right there in third. It's Hoosier Hill on the outside of horses. Dynamic Trip. Now they curve into the backstretch, and it's Ultra Bright with the lead. It's Daredevil alongside a challenging second. Rare Storm, he wants out of third. It's Hoosier Hill. Here comes Dynamic Trip. 3 wide around the turn. It's Ultra Bright on the inside. It's Daredevil on the outside. On the inside, a Rare Storm. It's Dynamic Trip, Hoosier Hill, and Charge Polite. Here they come, turning for home. It's Ultra Bright with the lead. On the outside, it's Daredevil as they come to the wire. It's Ultra Bright. It's Daredevil on the outside. It's Ultra Bright with the lead. It is Ultra Bright striding clear at the wire.
Well, congratulations to number 1, Ultra Bright, with Mark Aubin in the bike, getting the victory, paying a winning mutual of $7.60. Getting second was number 5, Daredevil, with Walter Paisley, and for third, the number 6 horse, Charge Plate, with Randy Jacobs. Time for the mile, 1:56 1/5, and now we're going out of town, Mike.
Yeah, we're going to the Battle of Brandywine. We're in Delaware, the state of Delaware. This is the 29th renewal, I should say. And the horses, it was even odds 1, 1/8, Store Wars, and Bill O'Donnell. Only Mine, Hearty Welcome, number 4, Eddie the Quick. Then came Champagne Enforcer, Bossy Hossy, Kimball Elmhurst, and number 8, Big Eyes out of the 9th slot. And your action from Brandywine.
At the rail, Kimball Elmhurst moves in 4th. Only Mine on the outside 5th. At the rail, it is Big Eye 6th and boxed. On the outside, Hearty Welcome 7th. Then Champagne in 4th or 8th. Back on stride, and Bossy Aussie the trailer. The half and 58 3. Down the back stretch, 2 lengths for Eddie the Quick. Now Bill O'Donnell moving up with Store Wars 2nd. Dropping back is even odds 3rd. At the rail moving up, Kimball Elmhurst 4th. Racing 5th on the outside is Only Mine. Then Hearty Welcome, Big Eyes, Champagne Enforcer, and Bossy Aussie the trailer. No challenge yet at the far turn to Eddie the Quick with a length and a half on Store Wars. On the outside, driving is even odds, and dropping back at the rail is Kimball Elmhurst. 3/4, 1:28 2. Around to the top of the stretch. Eddie the Quick is the one to catch. Here comes Store Wars on the outside. At the rail, Kimball Elmhurst is 3rd, and even odds is 4th, deep into the lane. That's Eddie the Quick. Store Wars on the outside, coming on even odds, and between horses, Kimball Elmhurst. That's Store Wars on the outside, and between horses coming on is Kimball Elmhurst. At the rail, it's Eddie the Quick. Eddie the Quick in front.
And it was a head decision. Eddie the Quick getting the victory in the time of 1:56 4. Kimball Elmhurst, a long shot, was 2nd. Store Wars, Bill O'Donnell was 3rd. The Battle of Brandywine.
And that's racing action from the Chicagoland area for this past week. Stay tuned, because right after this, we're going to look back to 1972 in the Kentucky Futurity.
The people who come here know racing, know the horses and trainers and drivers, know one another. And
Harness some fun and excitement by having your group party night at the races at Maywood Park. Party plans start at $9 per person and include admission to the racetrack. Everybody gets a program, and dinners are complete with salad, vegetable, potato, rolls with butter, dessert, coffee, tea, or Sanka. We have a special race name in honor of your group and a photograph with the winning horse and driver in the winner's circle. Tax and gratuity. We even print up the tickets. Plan your group party now by calling 343-4800 for your group party brochure.
This is a test. Can you name the one cola chosen more than any other? Here's a few hints. If you're like most people, one name quickly comes to your lips. The one chosen 10 million more times a day than Pepsi. Coca-Cola Classic. Now, if you put Coca-Cola Classic, America's favorite, next to Pepsi, we think you'll agree that this is not a test. Coca-Cola Classic. You can't beat the feeling.
What are your plans?
Well, I've always wanted to cross the Atlantic in a hot air balloon.
Really?
Yeah, and
What?
well, I'd like to learn to play the lottery's daily games.
Well, all you have to do is walk in and pick 3 numbers. If you match the drawing, you win $500.
Come on, that's it?
Mm-hmm. And if you match 4 numbers, you win $5,000.
I'd like you to be there when I play. And then I'd like to rid the world of artificial turf.
The Illinois State Lottery's daily games, they're easier than you might think.